Good morning, friends, and welcome. My name is April, and I'm with Medwell Health and Wellness, and I am so excited to be here this Thursday on another episode of Medwell Unscripted. Emily Waxman, who is my partner every week. Good morning, Emily. She's our director of community outreach. My friends, I am so excited to be sharing with you today. We have Cherissa Jackson, who is the CEO and founder of Decode LLC, and it is going to be a powerful conversation. Like, we have had some great guests, and we love all of our guests, but I love the science, technology, and I can't wait to hear all about that in our conversation today. So if you are tuning in, watching us and catching the replay, feel free to leave a comment and let us know you're here. Ask a question. We will absolutely get back to you. We are streaming to YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So you may see that I pop a comment up on the screen and you're like, why does that say YouTube? It's because we're streaming to multiple platforms. But we're glad that you're here today, and I'm so excited to get started. So before Cherissa introduces herself, I'm going to have Emily tell you a little bit about what she's up to, because friends, since last week, she's added like 20 Google events. Like, I can't even keep up with this girl's stamina. So what's up, Emily?
I am a busy lady this time of year. So you can find me at most likely your local dispensary. You can find me pretty much anywhere. Give us a call over here at Medwell. You can get a hold of me any day, anytime. I'm always there to be able to please, use me as a resource, ask questions about the medical program here in Massachusetts. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to talk to folks, whether you're an existing patient or you're thinking about becoming a patient. We just, we're here to be able to provide the education that you might be looking for and see if it's a good choice for you. So please, check us out on our socials so that you'll see where I am. And it's not too hard to find me, April, right?
It is not. Right. And I have to tell you, it's to your benefit, and stop and say hello to Emily. She's one of the nice people on the universe. So definitely stop by and say hello. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you Cherissa Jackson. Again, she is the founder of Decode LLC. It's a company that's working diligently to decode DNA. How cool is that? To help customers find the best cannabinoid and terpene matches, saving time and money. So, Cherissa, yes, tell us a little bit about yourself. That's kind of my intro, and obviously that's not as good as you can tell about yourself. So share with us.
Let me see how far back you want me to go, but I'll as recent as I can. Hello, everyone. My name is Cherissa Jackson. I'm a retired Air Force nurse of 23.5 years and 14 days. I can certainly get it down to the seconds if you guys needed me to. I am a survivor of 3 combat deployments, twice to Iraq, once to Afghanistan. I've been out here trying to take away the stigma of PTSD because, we are here looking for hope, looking for, best way to transition from the military with PTSD. So I'm out here giving that support, giving that encouragement and motivation to soldiers out here who are probably suffering in silence. So that's been my passion project since I retired in 2013. And then recently, within the last 2-3 years, I've discovered cannabis. And as a clinician, I couldn't touch the plant, working active duty for the military. And then when I retired, still working in the healthcare field, I couldn't touch the plant either. And so until a soldier came to me and said, Cherissa, I am no longer taking my opioids because I've discovered cannabis. And I'm like, oh my God, my parents told me not to use drugs. So what is this cannabis thing? And I became so intrigued, ladies, by what this plant can do. I started doing my own diligent research. I was in the closet, trying to figure out what is this plant and what can it do and how can they have all of these great testimonials. And everything I read is true. And so I became to be like a student in figuring out cannabis to the point where I actually am a student. I'm at the University of Maryland's master's program in cannabis to continue to learn and grow and be that go-to person for anyone that's having problems or issues or concerns about the plant, as I'm destigmatizing what people are thinking this plant is and what this plant can do. So that's been what I've been up to for the last 2 years. It's a project that came from the man upstairs. He knew that I needed to have something additional to offer to soldiers, to people that's suffering, and he was the one that gave me We Decode. And so I've been out here since 420 when we launched We Decode to save and change the lives of not only veterans, but anyone looking for a holistic option that's going to save their lives. And that's what cannabis is a holistic option. It's not always for everybody, but it certainly is an option that for those of people who want to try something different, an alternative, and it's a whole plant, then here it is. And so that's my journey. That's what I'm on right now. And it aligns with my 3 Ps, passion, purpose, and people. So I'm so happy to be here to talk to you guys today.
So you gave me chills in that
God,
intro.
I know, me too. That was phenomenal. Amazing.
First, thank you so much for your service. Like you know, we're indebted to you. And wow, just wow. Like, all the experience and you know, and I'm so glad that you're able to help other veterans and with this new opportunity in your business. So let's talk a little bit about talk about kind of Decode as a whole and what it does and how it works. And, you know, obviously you shared a little bit about how it got started and helping others, but let's talk about kind of what it is. How are we decoding DNA these days for cannabis?
Yeah. And so what I was discovering, you know, along my journey of learning and having veterans come to me, telling me about their experiences, they were all kind of having a similar issue, which is they would go inside of a dispensary and they would get a whole bunch of products and they get home and some of these products are not working and they're spending a lot of money. And research that I've found says it takes between 6 to 8 months for people to really find that sweet spot of a product that really works. But then they'll buy a product this month and then next month the product isn't working again. So I was, you know, it just made me feel like there has to be a different system that can help people find their product sooner. And so it was actually finding and discovering this DNA test that will allow you to find your cannabinoid and your terpene match, which will allow you to get your product sooner because it's dedicated to you. It's precision medicine for you. So when you take the test, it's a saliva swab. Most people are familiar with that with Ancestry and 23andMe. You do a saliva swab, you send it into the lab spins your DNA and it decodes your DNA to tell you specifically, you know, how much CBD to THC you need. And then also tells you which terpenes is best for your condition. So what customers can do is take this information and go inside of a dispensary and get the right product and say, hey, I need a 2-to-1 ratio of CBD to THC. I need this type of terpene, I need lanolin, I need Mercy. And then they can walk out of the doors feeling confident that they have the best precise products for them instead of playing this guessing game. So what we're discovering is not only are dispensaries interested in the kits, but also clinical directors and pharmacists and doctors out here doing recommendations, because now it's taking the guesswork out of them giving a recommendation to a patient and hoping and keeping their fingers crossed that the actual cannabis that they're suggesting will work. And so that was the whole theme around what we're doing. The whole mission behind what we're doing is saving people time. So not only veterans, but those who are suffering from pain, anxiety, PTSD can get their medicine, because I call cannabis medicine, sooner, helping them with their condition much faster.
Wow. Well, so we do have a question that I just wanted to, it should pop up here a second. Heidi's asking, are you talking about Greenway DNA?
Yeah, there are a lot of competitors out here, but it's not Greenway. And he or she can certainly go to our website, which is wedecode.me. It's very similar. The difference between Greenway and what we're doing is Greenway gives you a range in milligrams, whereas we do a ratio, because that's very familiar with what you see when you go inside of a dispensary. On a product, it'll say a 2-to-1 ratio. It'll say a 1-to-1 ratio. So we want customers to be familiar with what they're going to experience when they go inside of a dispensary. So that's one of the major differences between us and Greenway, along with the Greenway, don't provide as much information as we do. We also provide wellness reports. So in the wellness reports, it gives you more information than just cannabinoids and terpenes. It gives you whole health information. it told me about my metabolism, which everybody who is interested in cannabis should start with knowing what type of metabolizer they are. So it told me that. And again, a slew of whole health information, unlike greenweed does.
That's amazing. And that's so true. I mean, what an important factor to, take into consideration is how we do metabolize certain items, for example, like a gummy or any sort of edible. I mean, that's an important thing to know so that you know what you're looking at for an onset and, a duration. I mean, that's just genius.
Yeah. And I think it was important for us because what I was finding, and from my own experience, eating a gummy and you're watching your friends eat a gummy and your friends over there giggling, having the best time of their lives. And you're sitting there, right? Gummy, right? And it wasn't even anything wrong with the product. It's all about your health and your DNA and how you metabolize the product. And I think that's what's out here in this industry. A lot of people are smoking, a lot of people are eating things, and they're not really getting the best experience because they don't know how they metabolize. So it's important for us to make sure people know how they metabolize so they can find that best product and find the right route to give them the best experience.
Can you talk a little bit about how kind of the matching works with the DNA? Because I guess, I think from a science perspective, and I'm thinking kind of from my own experience, my son has ADD, and we did a DNA testing for medications way back when we were looking at that route. He doesn't do that route now, he uses medical cannabis. But so can you talk a little bit about kind of that process and how it works?
Yeah, so basically there's an algorithm that once your DNA is sequenced, it kind of kicks out the algorithm, the information about your DNA and what is sequenced and the markers and the variances that's out there. And so with the algorithm, it allows us to provide you those markers that can tell you if you're predisposed for any type of condition, right? For example, I had a marker that said I was predisposed for schizophrenia. I had a marker that said I was predisposed for opioid dependency. And imagine how important that information is, right? Because if you take too much THC, we all know it can really, take you into a schizophrenic situation if you take too much THC. And why would I want to take too much THC? I already know I have a variant for opioid dependency, right? So that's important information that our algorithm, that the science, that your DNA will tell you what you're predisposed for. So those markers will come up in the report. And what happens is all of our patients get a 20 to 30 minute consultation with a counselor that goes over all of these markers, that goes over all of these variances. So people at least have a better understanding of their whole health so they know what to do once they get that information. I believe know thyself. When you know yourself, you can do better and hopefully make the best choices for you when you know what information is out there in your DNA.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. Like, that's just like amazing that you can even know, like, wow.
I know. I mean, that knowing that you have these sorts of pieces inside you and, how they could be set off by certain, different, like you said, like with THC, too much. I mean, that can really do a number on you. So to know this information beforehand is just genius. I just love this product. This is amazing. So is this something that someone can get a hold of where they can just reach out to you and you can mail this out and then they can send it back, or tell us a little bit about that, how someone can get a hold of this product? Yeah,
going to our website, you can easily go to the cart and order a kit. And it can get mailed to your home across the country. We even send them overseas. So anyone can get this test. If you've already taken history and 23andMe, you can upload that information into our algorithm, and it'll also spit out your information as well. And I do, pop-ups at different dispensaries. I do conferences. So anywhere people can follow me, I will have kits available. But yeah, those will be the three ways. You can certainly go to the website, order a kit, and get delivered to your home. Everything comes packaged all nice and neat for you to just do your swab, put it in the envelope. The stamp is already on it, and you just go ahead and drop it off at the post office. And what will happen is once your sample gets received at the lab will notify you in your HIPAA compliant portal that your sample's been received. And along the way of your report status, it'll say, hey, it's, sequencing your DNA, your report's available. And so the patient gets to know the status of their DNA and their kit. So by doing so, you'll get that information, and then you can get your consultation and then get the recommendation and hopefully live your best life and have a good journey with cannabis. So those are the options. I really like going to dispensaries and setting up pop-ups because it allows me to kind of educate customers along the way about, the use of THC and CBD and other cannabinoids and terpenes out here, because I feel like a lot of customers are erring on the side of high THC, and your body really doesn't need a high level THC. So it's always a good thing to go out in the community and spread the gospel, if you will, of how THC and CBD differ, but also how well they're efficacious if you're taking it properly.
Yes. It's funny you say that too about you're seeing high levels of THC, because I tend to talk to folks that are new with cannabis and they're so nervous about THC and they don't want it. They just want CBD. Mm-hmm. And it's so great when they can get educated to learn that, you really kind of need the two of them together to be able to, give you the best interaction. So it's so phenomenal that you're able to give that sort of education out there so that people can understand that, you don't need this super high level of one and not enough of another. So
yeah. Great. Yeah, and I think as a clinician, I'm always educating, because that's what I used to do.
You are.
At bedside. So I'm always educating so people have an understanding of what they're doing, even if you choose not to do THC, but understand what you are doing, and you can make an informed decision. And that's where that hand holding that I love to do happens when I'm out in the community. So it's been working for us. And even when, folks see me out at conferences and they want a kit, we make those accommodations to give people their kits. And, last week we were invited to the Atlantic Hawks and 76ers game in Atlanta. And we Decode one of these charities or the companies that, they chose to sponsor on that night. And even then, I had kits available just in case the basketball players or anybody. So we just make sure that we're accessible, because you just never know who may see us and talk to us and interested in our technology. And one of the phrases that I always put out on my social media is, you have to stay ready. You don't have time to get ready. So by staying ready, we're always available to have kits to educate folks about the technology.
Awesome. So when you get the report, let's talk a little bit about the report. So when I get so I've done my testing, I have the report. Is there like a recommendation of how I'm going to walk into my local dispensary and kind of say, this is what I have, this is what I need, or kind of what does that report look like? Because I think I would be like, and obviously every dispensary is different in how they're that's set up in terms of talking to a representative or a person. So what does that look like? And is there kind of a how-to, what questions to ask? Yeah,
that's a good question. And so what we're having our patients do once they get their reports back, again, everything is uploaded to a HIPAA compliant portal. So only the patient can see their results. And at the top of the report, there's a big old banner that says, don't forget to schedule your 20-minute consultation. So they'll schedule their 20-minute consultation with our counselors. They'll go over the report. They'll see their recommendations as far as cannabinoid, the terpene matches. So they'll already have that in hand. If they wanted to print that out, they can certainly print that out and take it into a dispensary. If they want to write it out, put it in their phone so they have, their cannabinoid profile available, that's also great. They have it on their phones as well, because you can actually download your information to your phone. So they have accessibility to just carry this report around. When they go inside of a dispensary, it's as easy as walking up to a bud tender and say, hey, I'm suffering from this condition. This is what my report says I need. What products do you have? And then tell the bud tender what route that you want. If you want an edible, then you know from your report what type of metabolizer you are. If you are a great metabolizer and edible works for you, then you go down that route of discussing, what edibles that particular bud tender has. And so it's really informative in that way, where we put the power in the customer's hands. So they have the ability to choose at any point what products they want by having that report available to them. So what we found is that a lot of, particularly veterans, they print the report out and they take it inside of the dispensaries, and I mean, these veterans are calling back to me and saying, "Oh my God, these bartenders are wowed by your report." And they were like, "Who's this woman and what is this report and how can she help us?" Because
That's
it's really
awesome.
making it communicative between the bartender and the client and the customer without just selling them a bag of goods on products that may or may not work for them. So I think the word is spreading and people are enjoying this technology and how it's helping everybody, not just the patient.
Well, look at how easy it's making their job to be able to know that this person comes in so prepared with this report. And, after having just a nice little conversation, they can go grab these products and everybody's happy and on their way. So, I mean, it's a win-win-win for everyone for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that.
So I know Emily asked this and you kind of touched on this. I just want to, so what is the best way? So if you're a veteran or a patient, like what's the best way on your website? What's the cost kind of behind getting it? Like that? I think that's an important question for people to know.
Yeah. The cost of the kits, again, you can go online, buy the kits, you go to the shop and you go through all of our products and you'll find the kit that applies to you and you'll order the kit. The average cost is $199 for just a kit. We do give a 20% discount off to veterans. They can reach out to me and we can, do their, verification. We can do their verification to make sure they are a veteran. And once they do that, we give them a code and they can get their 20% off. But the great thing about our business is that we also have a campaign called Operation Give Hope. And in the campaign for Operation Give Hope, anybody can actually donate funds and donate a kit to a veteran. So if someone says, I really don't do cannabis, but hey, I love this initiative. I love this campaign to support veterans because we all here. Thank you for your service. But at the end of the day, this is a way of putting some action behind that. So if you want to help a veteran, you can certainly contribute to Operation Give Hope. Those funds, all of those funds go towards buying kits for veterans. So we get those kits in the hands of veterans. They're using cannabis. And just wanted to make sure they get the right formula, the right formulation that works best for them.
Absolutely. Oh, that's lovely. That is really fantastic.
So you've only just begun your journey with We Decode. So this is amazing, and I'm so glad that we're able to share about you today and share with our audience about all the power. And when we get the opportunity here locally to talk to a lot of dispensaries, so we'll be sure to share your information as well. What's the best way for people to connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on all the social media platforms, right? I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, all under We Decode. You will find me. And if anyone has any questions, you can certainly reach out to me, email us at info@wedecode.me. There's also an info form on the website. So if you're already on the website, just fill out a form and I check those daily. So, whatever questions you have, it'll get answered expeditiously.
Absolutely.
This has been amazing. I'm thinking a kit for my son. Like I need to get him because like I said, he has ADD and anxiety and he uses medicinal cannabis. So what a great opportunity for.
Well, with the holidays coming up, this seems like the most perfect present to give someone. I mean, especially for those that are thinking about cannabis, they're not sure, they might be a little nervous. I mean, what a great way to ease the anxiety and be able to, be so prepared when you go in initially into that dispensary and know what you're going to be purchasing, what's going to work.
Yes.
And like you said from the get-go, Cherissa, to not have to go through that, that frustrating time of buying something and then going home and trying it and not getting the results that you're hoping for. I mean, I talked to so many folks that, if they hadn't really stuck with it and really tried, we might have lost them out of the medical program and really, it makes you feel badly because certainly, like you said, this cannabis is not for everybody, but it's nice to know that, it can be a tool in your toolbox if you should need it. And so, I love that this can eliminate any of that frustration, aggravation that anyone might be feeling from, trying the journey and it's just not working for them. So this product is just amazing. I'm just thrilled that we have you here today and that we get an opportunity to talk to you about it and have our patients, listen about it.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate you guys wanting to learn about this. And I want folks to know too, that it's not just about your metabolism. It's not just about cannabinoids and terpenes, but these kits actually give you whole health information, right? So when if you're predisposed for obesity, when you're predisposed for other things, then it gives you a conscious awareness of it. So then you want to do better. You may want to exercise more, right? And it also allows the providers to look at these reports and determine if there are any contraindications, because a patient can actually upload their medications into their profile. And if there's any drug interactions, or if there are any contraindications for any type of medications, the report will tell you that. And that's what doctors are really drawn to, is the fact that, they're interested in those drug-to-drug interactions. And thank God, our test is able to do that, so that it'll prepare providers as well if their patient is on medications that can have drug-to-drug interactions.
That's
amazing. Oh my gosh, that is so fantastic. So it's almost like, so the patient knows that they're really going to be on a good path, because they're not going to have to worry that there's anything down the road that could really hurt them or interact with them, because, they're seeing firsthand that everything's being taken into consideration for them, and they're going to be told if there's going to be an issue. So
correct.
It's just wonderful. And it's so true. I mean, how amazing that you can look at this DNA test result and say, oh my gosh, had I not done this, I never would have known that I would have had XYZ in my system. And, I mean, what a wonderful thing to be able to be proactive, I mean, in this day and age, it's like, with all the information, it's just phenomenal. I mean, just amazing, really.
A great way to live your best life, for sure.
I know, it is. It is. It's just amazing. I just love this.
Oh, thank you guys so much. And when I get testimonials from veterans, and I'll never forget this one testimonial from a female veteran. She said, Cherissa, I got my report back and I went into a dispensary. I was like, all this time you guys were selling me a bag of goods on these products, because she was taking a lot of THC, and she was like, Cherissa, not only was I taking too much THC, but I was taking the wrong terpenes at the wrong time. So it really became to be something that allowed her to have a better journey with cannabis. And we're constantly getting more and more testimonials of folks saying, I knew I had ADHD. I knew I had that condition, but it was your DNA test that told me not only that I had ADHD, but also that I had PTSD and fear and anxiety. And I mean, just to be able to know thyself and know why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, and being able to have that knowledge. I mean, knowledge is power. So now all of these veterans that are calling me with these testimonials are able to do better and make better choices and make better decisions. So like, April said, you can live your best life. And that's who we are. That's what we Decode is after, is to make sure everyone has an opportunity to be empowered to use their best, to live their best life by getting this information from our test results.
Gosh, I love that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Cherissa, for spending your time with us this morning. My friends, you can go to wedecode.me and check out all of the information about the DNA opportunities in the shop. There is where you're going to find your kit, and there's always an opportunity to also pay it forward to one of our veterans as well. And all that information is on there too, right?
It's on the website. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And my friends that are watching today or catching the replay, please feel free to leave a question, a comment, and absolutely go to wedecode.me for more information. And also, I did drop Cherissa's LinkedIn profile, and you will be amazed at the amount of experience this girl has. And again, thank you so much for all that you're doing to give back to our veterans, and thank you for your service. Really.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're an absolute superstar. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, friends. We are grateful for each and every one of you. Emily and I will return in 2 weeks from today. We're taking next Thursday off because Emily's cooking and Cherissa and I are not.
You're not.
Cherissa's going to be on the beach. Girl. All right, my friends, have a great day. Thanks so much for
tuning in. Have a great holiday, everyone. Take care.
Thank you all so much.